Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our trading room, our Thursday trading room. And we'll just get the screen share going on here. The market's just opening up today with a bit of an upside gap. Yesterday, the market's finally settling in after a very quiet and most of the morning, early afternoon session. Most of the morning, early afternoon. The market's in kind of this more or less sideways funk, and then in the afternoon they finally settled on a direction and a very nice rally into the close and through the overnight. There we go. So we have a little bit of a gap now to the downside. We'll see whether traders try to get into that, or whether the bulls are just going to keep pushing the market. Right now, it is looking like the buyers are going to keep pressing. I would say, just given the overnight follow through, I would probably tend to be a little bit more bullish, but we'll see. Here, an early signal on the eagle, right there, a red bar buy, which is in sync with the bullish band. For those of you who like that first eagle signal of the day, the hawk starting to confirm some of that as well. We've got first micro macro cross, a trend change signal working now on the Falcon, and an early trend change signal or cloud crossover here on the Raptor as well. So a few things looking a little bit more bullish here to start the day. But it's still very early, only a couple minutes into the day. Right now, the Russell also a little bit more on the bullish side. Okay, I don't normally take these early signals, but here we go. We've got ourselves a cloud crossover signal now on the Raptor. It looks like we're getting a little bit of a second push entry type opportunity here. So let me set that up. Can I cover it below the low? Ooh, I can. It's a little bit of a stretch, but there we go. It almost looked like they slipped me. No, they didn't. Okay, good progress so far. We'll bring the break even to the high of this bar. Oh, come on. We're holding, it looks like, near the overnight high here at 69.69. And hit the break even trigger now. Come on, just a little bit more. I'm going to try to be a good boy today and take my profit on target if I can get it. Come on, couple more ticks. You can do it. Oh, whew, that was hard work. Okay. Well, that's all right. 1 for 1. Early trade. First 4 or 5 minutes of the day. I'll take it. And as is often the case, we can see the market reverse after they find our high probability profit objective. A little bit of a hiccup. I'm not going to call it a full-on reverse yet. Okay, back now to the hard edge. Maybe the sellers are going to give them a push here. Nicely done, Mark. Mark says, I don't usually trade that first eagle signal, but I'm trying to broaden my horizons. So I took it with a little size and picked up $900. Well done. Nice start to the day. So your first in-sync eagle signal is just that. You're going to look at your band. So if your band is bullish, you're going to look for the first buy signal. And what you're looking for is just early momentum. It tends, if you have the nerve, it tends to work more often than not. However, you will come across the odd day where the market, it just isn't giving you the follow through. So here yesterday, the market opened. This actually was not your first in sync signal because at this time the band was bearish. Your first signal developed here 3 or 4 minutes later, and as you can see, that too had some decent follow through. I'll leave it to you to go through your chart and analyze those signals and calculate for yourself how many times the trade actually works versus how many times that first signal fails. Unfortunately, it does fail on occasion. But if you're quick with your stops, you can usually minimize the damage. All right, we're getting a little bit of a bearish pushback now. We've already got a first micro-macro cross lower. Here on the Falcon, we're looking at making a trend change signal. We have the warning dots. The trend line has changed direction. It's changed color. You could just anticipate where this signal is going to print. Trading right near this primary resistance line, which you can see has been a little problematic through the overnight. All right, well, now the trend line has changed direction again, so I can cancel that order, put that back on the shelf. A little bit of waffling going on. Okay, we did get that number 3 signal, that hard edge bounce. I was looking here at the Hawk and the Falcon. We just seemed like we were a little bit conflicted, so I chose to wait it out, maybe in favor of a second push opportunity, which we may be getting here. All right, prices waffling a little. We're getting some yellow bars, but we are back into the hard edge. This may open up the possibility of yet another hard edge bounce, another number 3 signal, if we get a little bit of a rally here. The danger is a breakout above these recent swing highs, and then a reverse. So there's the other signal. Oops, come back here. Are you going to give me that second push? Come on. All right, here we'll give it a couple of ticks. Maybe I'll even give it one more. There we go. Either the buyers have what it takes, or are the sellers going to smack them and push the market lower? This is kind of the decision point for this market. We could even look at bracketing what's going on here. We could look to buy 69.69, sell 69.58, 57. Whenever the market starts trading over itself, going over the same numbers time and again, yellow bars are going to start showing up. And that tells you that the market is stuck in a bit of a sideways range. That range gives you an opportunity to use an OCO type order. Okay, I'm going to get to your question here in a moment, Scott. I'm just waiting on this number 2 signal. Actually, you know what? I am going to use an OCO, and I'm going to look to short down here, and I will buy up here, and then I can get to your question. There. Okay, everything's enabled. Good. All right, so Scott's asking, today it did a red bar buy at 6:31. Is that not the first signal? Today. This one right here, this is your first in sync signal right there. So your band is bullish, so you're going to look for your first buy signal, and that's your first buy signal. Okay, hold on a second here, Scott. Okay, Scott says, go back, the red bar buy was inside today's. Okay, well there's the signal right there. Oh, okay. Yes, I see. My mistake, technically, this was the first in sync signal. Sorry, I was just looking at I didn't have the crosshairs going, I was just eyeballing it. Looked like that was the first signal. This was actually the first signal. And it just shows you the importance of not strangling your trade, right? You don't put your stop right here because you get stopped out only to watch the market go on without you, right? Always try to leave a reasonable stop. When in doubt, the furthest back you can afford is a good starting point. Scott says, but I love to strangle trades. Oh, there you go then. You pays your nickels, you takes your chances. Mark says, I've been looking back, and it is a high probability signal for the most part. That's that first in sync eagle signal that we're talking about. And Mark also makes a comment, and yes, managing the trade is the key. I would tend to be, if the market is moving in your favor, I would tend to be a little bit more aggressive with my stops, I think. Okay, here we go. Waffling back and forth, stuck between 69.69, 69.57. I would agree with Mark's comment here. The eagle gives you the ability to move your stop to break even sooner and minimize your losses due to the larger profit target. And the fact that it's a larger brick usually gives you that opportunity as well. Okay, it looks like we're going to get a fill on an upside break. Maybe, kind of, sort of. Boy, this is not one of your higher probability trades that we're looking at here. There is the serious potential for a bad breakout on this one. All I need is for somebody to fudge these highs by a tick or two, and I could find myself on the wrong side of this market. The Russell already making a rather substantial move lower. Pardon me. Here's a quick look at the Russell. You can see prices tailing off on the Russell, but so far the NASDAQ not following through on the short side. Dan asks, I know this will take longer, but what about waiting for a retest of a breakout above the high? Excellent suggestion, Dan. So what Dan's suggesting, he's saying essentially the whole day is a great big sideways channel. Why don't we wait for a breakout, then a retest, and evidence that the market's going to stay out? Look for that breakout signal. And of course, you can do the same thing to the short side. You can let the market break and then look for that retest. Excellent, excellent suggestion, and absolutely nothing wrong with that suggestion. In fact, if I were not hosting a trading room, that would probably be my go-to. Yesterday is a great example. Like, you would have, I think there were maybe one or two decent opportunities in the morning, but you really had to sit there all morning and about an extra hour in the afternoon before you got your first real good looking signal. And sometimes the days are like that. It doesn't cost you anything to sit and watch. I know I can hear somebody now saying, yeah, but what about that missed trade? That cost you. Well, yes, I know the opportunity cost idea, but in reality, only losses cost you money. So still looking here for a bullish break. You can see we're trading over these same numbers over and over. There will be a breakout. And then, of course, the big question is, will the breakout stick? Okay. The Russell still slipping a little bit lower. Look at our hawk, just such congestion. Same thing, you get yellow bars cropping up, you know you've got a sideways range. You could bracket it, or like Dan said, just let her go, look for the retest. That is the much safer scenario. Here on the Falcon, we got that little bit of a roller coaster effect going on. And just like a roller coaster, it's making me a touch nauseous, so we'll put that away. Yeah, Mark says things picked up about a half hour after we closed the room yesterday. That does tend to be the way it goes sometimes. All right, so got the fill. I'm going to hold my stop back just a little, maybe bring my break even down a little bit as well. Let it ride out the possible break here at the primary resistance line. Come on, get going. Oh, really? All right, there we go. I can't stand it. I'm going to get tagged, and then the market's going to fall off the map. Because I'm a chicken. Well, if it continues lower from here, we should get a cloud crossover signal. And another opportunity to enter somewhere around the 69.53 mark. You can see here the hawk already producing first micro macro cross. That resistance line gave me pause. All right, here we're coming now with the Falcon trend change signal. Follow-up signals on the Hawk to be expected. Here's our trend change signal on the Eagle, and on the Raptor, we're going to produce the cloud crossover signal. And I'm just kind of anticipating that signal. Where is it? Oh, there it is. And I'm still a little concerned about the resistance line, this other swing. I am offering up a little bit more on the entry. Like I said, I'm a little bit of a chicken. Shh, don't tell anyone. Well, there is a definite struggle going on here right now. Okay, here comes that bearish push again. You know, I have half a mind to move my entry below the low of the morning. That's really stretching it out. As it is, I'm giving up about almost half my profit objective just to gain entry. But, oh well, here we go. Give me that break even. Oh, see? Okay. I was going to panic here for a second. I was going to say, see, you should have taken the earlier entry, Eric. Oh, I should have anyways. It looks like they're feeling the support here from the lows of the morning. Getting a little bit of pushback from the buyers now. Oh, don't you dare bounce. As you can see, had I taken the earlier entry, I would have easily found my profit objective already. Come on. Nuts to me. Come on, get down there. You know what I'm going to do is I am going to run this bad boy out. If they let me out of this one, I'm going to take it down to the median line because that's where it's going next. If it bounces here at the low of the morning and by some small miracle I don't get stopped out, this could actually turn out to be a pretty good running trade. But not to be. Well, that was my fault. I delayed my entry too much on that one. There's one thing to give the market a little bit more leeway for those extra volatile times, and then there's giving too much. Here is a follow-up signal, though. These would be one of those discretionary signals that you can take. I just have the warning dot at the moment. I don't have the whole signal just yet. What I can do is I can try to get back in. I'm going to anticipate the signal's going to print. I actually don't have the signal. There it is. Okay, and we're going to take this one down a bit. Down here to 32, I was looking. And I'll give a little bit on the break even as well. So this is me just trying to get back into my earlier trade, looking for hopefully a little bit more follow through. Elmer asks, would you not just take the 16 or 18 ticks in reality rather than being stopped out at break even? Absolutely, Elmer. If I knew that the market wasn't going to reverse on me, for sure I would. Smart aleck attitude aside, it's entirely up to you. You know, that's why I delete the P&L. I don't want to see that. I want to make a decision based on what's going on the chart. Now, for you, it might be different. You know, if you see the P&L up there and you have, you know, whatever, $85, $90 in open profit and you figure that's close enough, then yeah, go ahead, hit the close button. Mark said we had a good late filter entry signal. Oh, yes, we did too. This one's almost textbook. You can see the trend line going nice and flat. Filter out of sync, back into sync. Very reliable signal right there. Looks like it's working another possible late filter entry signal. Trendline has a little bit more slope to it, but hopefully we'll get some follow through on that one. Now this, I'm not liking this little pushback here, so I'm going to put my break even very handy. If this bar finishes on the low here, takes out the current low, I'll take the break even. Oh, did I reach too far? I said I was going to behave myself today, didn't I? Darn it. All right, we're starting to get that sideways drift going again. So this is a pretty important area for this market. We have produced a counter trend signal. That's the number 2, of course. So it's possible that the market could drift back here to the hard edge around 69.54, 55, retest the underside of that resistance zone. This is not what I was looking for. I didn't expect that deep of a retrace. I'm not liking that we took out these swing highs here. Hopefully we'll get one more push lower, but right now it's a little problematic. Got to get some sellers stepping up. It's not going to happen. Darn it. They're going to need a big reverse off this hard edge. If we can trade back somewhere below 69.50, somewhere near the low of the morning or the low of opening range, then we may see a few more sellers step up. Otherwise, I'm going to get spanked. Darn it. Shoot. Oh well, that's trading. I really don't expect to ride this one out. I think I'm going to get tagged here in a second. Yep. Oh well. My bad. Well, we'll put that away. Oh, that's unfortunate, but dug a little bit of a hole here. Got to try to get that one back now. So, big question, are we in transition or are we still in a downtrend? The Falcon working a trend change signal now. The Hawk already bullish. The Eagle bearish, but not really producing any sell signals. And then here back to the Raptor, we're producing an very early cloud crossover. So this is, like I said, now a very early cloud cross. And again, I'm anticipating the signal. The signal hasn't printed yet. Yeah, you could be right, Steven. Steven says, I don't know we were ever in a downtrend, just a retracement of the uptrend. And if you look back, yeah, you can say, well, this move was nothing more than a little bit of a pullback in the larger uptrend. That's the thing with trading. It's kind of relative, right? If you're relative to the time frame you're observing. Okay, looks like I can scrub that. Oh, and sorry, here we go again with a possible buy. This now, the early cloud cross. I'm going to have to adjust my stop. I just did that so I had the order in. Ooh, what a balancing point for the market. I'll take it above that high. Can I risk it down there? I can. Okay. I'm forced to stretch this a little bit in an attempt to offset my earlier boo-boo. See if it doesn't trade back to around the highs of the morning, the 69.70 zone. Here we go. Come on, give me that follow through. Pretty please. Wow, come on. No, just not getting much, any love from the market here this morning. Looking for that next push. Now the proper cloud crossover or the completed cloud crossover. Wow. And yet another pushback. Well, obviously, a little bit of a stumbling block here at 69.65. And I'm not really liking that number 2 signal that's cropping up, so we got some issues going on here. Buyers have got to get their act together. Come on, giddy up. Just can't breach 69.65. All right, well, they're hunting for support, and that's not good for my position here. I'm going to look at a possible opportunity to roll my stops in. I'd like to see the market make a little bit of a swing here, maybe off the primary resistance line again. And I think I'm going to have to get serious about bringing my stops up pretty darn quick here. Just looking for a couple of bars to go my way. Come on, don't be like that. The market is really debating. It's hemming and hawing which way it wants to go from here. Okay, did we actually see a little mini swing here? Maybe. I know it's much easier said than done, but I think this is one of the key features of trading is that you have to be comfortable with the dollar amount you have at risk. Because what that does is it enables you to make good decisions rather than making decisions from a place of fear. You can, look at a chart, you can see the market unfold, and then rather than panic right away and jam your stops in ultra tight, only to get stopped out prematurely, you can hopefully make some better decisions. Even if I don't move my stop at all, I can, even though, it would be a substantial tag, I can take comfort in the fact that I did not risk more than I can afford. It is still an amount I can afford to lose. And I'm doing my best to be patient, but hopefully I can get another bar or two in my favor here, and then I think I'm going to bring my stops up to the low of opening range somewhere around the 69.50 mark. All right. There you go. Time to take my medicine. I think they're going to jump on me here in a second. Yeah, no love from the buyers right now. Okay. Well, it unfortunately was a losing trade, but that's what I may classify as a good loss, in that I think I managed it well. We'll see. We'll see how it unfolds. Oh no, Russell says the market was a tick away from his profit target on the late filter entry. Didn't give it to him. Yes, I can sympathize with that. We are seeing a definite lack of direction here this morning. I got another late filter entry here now on the Falcon, getting the number one cloud crossover now on the Raptor. So there's the opportunity to short. I'm a little bit late on that. I wonder if I can sneak into that with a limit order, if they'll let me. So all I'm doing is simulating what would have been the entry here on the number one signal, the cloud crossover. Obviously, no follow through on the bullish side, so that's as good a reason as any to try to short the market. Stops at break even at the moment. And I've got my parabolics ready to go if we can take out this little swing low. We could get a little bit of room to move. Come on. I'm going to hold my stop there for a moment. It's just natural at these swing lows that you're going to see a little bit of a reaction. It doesn't always translate into a full-on bounce. In fact, I think if we can get below this little swing low here, 69.43 and 3/4, we may send a few buyers scurrying for their exit orders. Because that was a fairly serious pushback from this level before, right? They tried to recover the trend. It didn't happen. All right. Well, picked up a couple of dollars anyway. So, not quite back to scratch, but pretty close. Still got a little bit of work to do. Okay, the buyers digging in their heels a bit. I'm a little bit surprised, I have to admit. I thought for sure if we got below these lows here, the buyers would just come apart at the seams and the market would make a rather brisk move lower, but that was not the case. And we're actually seeing a little bit of bullish pushback now. Yeah, Mark says flushed out all those stops below 69.42. I don't know if we really flushed out that many. It looks like they just fortified their position. Usually what happens, here's what I was looking for. If you look back on your chart and you see anytime the market makes a rather strong move, it will almost be certain that it's taken out a significant resistance level. What happens at this resistance level is that it has attracted a lot of sellers. So here's that resistance level. If I roll back in the chart a little ways, okay, or a long way, well, it didn't show. I thought for sure there might have been a lot of significant selling going on there, which is usually the case. Here, this is actually going to be a little better example. So we've got loads of buying going on here. We've got more buying going on here, more buying going on here, and then lastly, more buying going on down here. Watch what happens though when each of these levels gets broken, right? When this significant level got broken, we saw the market make that move. It recovered, which was off of this support and this, and then it comes down and now it's breaking these two support levels, right? So let's see what kind of follow through we got there. Look at that. So that's what I was hoping for. That's what I was hoping would happen on the break here. But it didn't. In fact, the buyers pushed back very hard, which tells me the market is pretty balanced at this point. Yeah, I don't know, Russ. Russell says maybe there's excitement about pushing through 7,000. Yeah, who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. So here now on the Hawk, we're producing a first micro-macro cross. The Falcon, an early trend change signal. The Raptor and the Eagle both back into the hard edge. So here we go. We've got, like I said, the trend change signal on the Falcon. It's really going to boil down to how you see this market overall. Like if you see it as a current uptrend, then this would be a good buy opportunity. If you see it as perhaps the market topping out, then maybe you're going to be favoring the short side. You can see the conflict though, right? You can see how the market is really starting to wedge up. It's evidenced in the size of the bars. Look at how the volume is off today. Nobody is playing today. Tomorrow, probably going to be even worse. But here is a buy opportunity. Like I said, if you envision the market in a longer term uptrend, then there's nothing wrong with doing that buy right there. Got a second push on the trend change. That's a perfectly acceptable signal. Even if you deem the market to be in a little bit of a sideways trading range, we've got some buying going on down here. We'll have selling going on up here. So there's a chance to grab a couple dollars before the sellers get too excited. Look at that. We're just not seeing any follow through here today. Brutal. Okay, come on, give me one more swing. All right, I'll let the ATR strategy play this out for me. It looks like it's following the market reasonably well. But like I said, not a lot of follow through either way, higher or lower, which is disappointing. One of those days, I guess. The market's just in a slow sideways grind. A little bit of hope here for a possible late filter entry. That would maybe, just maybe, give me enough follow through. Come on. Almost to the break even. Oh, man. Wow. All right, well, there you go. Looks like the sellers are going to come back here, give it a whirl. If the market trades back down below this swing low, then it's probably going to, well, I said that last time, but it's probably going to try to slip lower. It doesn't look like we're going to get, a major move higher or lower today. Rather, I think we just got this sideways grind going on. I'm going to try to nurse this trade at least back to a break even, maybe even to a profitable position. And we'll see how the rest of the morning goes. And otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.